coming this morning and we wanted to, so we don't have hay bales soaked. One of the first things, the layers that we put in the bottom of the raised beds is our hay bales. So we put, because our ground cover didn't quite cover everything in the bottom of these raised beds, we put cardboard down as a weed barrier also. So we're actually taking these hay bales and I'm going to put them down on top of the cardboard. And because the rain's coming, we didn't want the hay bales to get soaked together, so we thought it'd be easier to spread them out. So that's what we're doing.
Cool thing about this is if you you get them in bales, these pieces come off in squares, so it's easy just to pull a square and lay it down. It's just like laying tile. And we've kind of measured that two bales of hay will cover half the garden, so works out pretty good.
Under.
Yep.
Gotta love Florida weather. 1 minute sunshine, the next minute
thunderstorm.
We have four black rockers on our front porch, and yesterday a storm came up so fast, all four of the rockers blew off the porch and actually, broke one of them yesterday. So. This hay looks really high up right now, but it won't stay that way. It's kind of fluffed up right now, and when you put dirt,
it just packs it down.
Dirt on top of it, it packs it down. So we're also out here feeding the chickens real quick before the storm comes.
Tomatoes doing the storm.
Huh?
How the tomatoes doing the storm?
Oh. Seem to be okay. Hurry.
Pressure's on. Will she make it? Who knows?
We don't know.
It'll be the first time we got caught in the rain.
at that. One of our wire baskets rolled away yesterday. There we go. All right. There you go, baby.
Whoa! What's going on, girls?
Yeah, she's been doing that lately.
Which one's doing that? Big Mama?
No, I think like all of them do that when I'm been walking outside.
They dry.
Really? Plane flying?
That doesn't make sense. Imagine it gets struck. I'm gonna film the plane.
I guess he didn't check the weather report before it started flying.
This is the rain that we were trying to beat. Okay, we're on our second layer of the raised bed now. If you'll recall, the first layer was the hay, and then under this dirt, Mr. Homestead just finished putting a layer of dirt on top of this hay. So we basically put, how deep do you think the dirt is?
6 inches.
3 to 6 inches of dirt, depending on the thickness of hay in spots, but it's just to give a good solid covering to the hay. And that's what we're doing with the just regular garden dirt. There's no amendments in this, it's just dirt.
And remember, like as Homestead said on the last video, it's kind of like a lasagna. We got the hay, put a small layer of dirt, then I think we're going to put blood meal and then peat moss, and then we're going to come back with another layer of dirt, and it will take it up to right about here where we want. So it's going to fill it in.
And then the compost.
Yeah, and then the compost.
So yes, so I just wanted to take you step by step of each layer to see what we do.
I just do what she asked me to do. So.
Okay, Mr. Homestead, how much blood meal are you putting?
So I've got half of a Dixie cup.
Okay.
That's not going to cover it all. We're going to put more on it, but I'm just doing it so I can sprinkle it.
So you can kind of see it when you've put it down. It's maybe hard to see on the camera.
It gets brown.
Yeah, there's a layer of, it almost looks rusty looking.
Yeah, it's almost like a chili seasoning.
And so we just want it a good scattering of it to make sure we've covered all of the area.
We're not what is it, endorsing anything.
But just
But
that's what we
this is what we get. It's close to the Lowe's that we go to, and they have it. We've looked before, hard to find, so we just buy it there.
So this blood meal, the purpose of this is this puts nitrogen in the soil. That's the main component of blood meal, is nitrogen.
Some of y'all may ask, well, can I just get some fertilizer that's got a lot of nitrogen? The problem with that is we did that one time on one of our episodes when we did the hay bales. And most of the nitrogens that are fertilizer are slow release. Blood meal is not a slow release nitrogen. It goes right in. And
So it starts feeding immediately.
it starts feeding right away. It doesn't slowly enter it into your soil. So that was a lesson learned.
Yep. That's the beauty of experience. You learn what not to do, and that's okay. It's not a failure. It's a learning experience. So
Maybe with the sun not being there, you can see it a little bit better.
you can sort of, but it's still not like those. What looks like black spots on the camera is actually blood meal. So we're just like kind of shaking it like a shaker of salt and just making a good splattering of blood meal all over the surface area.
You don't need a lot. We this bag will do definitely these two beds, and it doesn't cost that much.
So that's layer number 3. Layer number 1 is hay. Number 2 is the soil. Number 3 is the blood meal. And the next thing we're going to put on top of this is our sphagnum peat moss. So here's our peat moss. Oops. Again, we're not endorsing any particular brand. This is just what we buy. 100% organic. And it takes one of these for this 4 by 16 foot bed, 4 foot by 16 foot bed. So it's pretty compacted, so there's quite a bit of moss in that.
And when you put this out, check your wind, because it blows. So now, wind is actually blowing this way. So I'm going to go on that side and put it this way, so any residual will go this way and not in my face. I learned that by trial and error too.
We have sort of windy property, and I believe it's because there's just such a vast amount of open land to our left and to our right that there's not a lot of trees to obstruct the wind. It's nice. I'm not complaining. No, not complaining by any means.
When it gets to be about July and August here, you'll welcome any kind of breeze.
Mm-hmm.
Come here. So I just opened this up and you can see how compacted. I mean, I don't know how in the world they get that in there, but it is packed tight.
So you get your money's worth, huh?
Yeah, you do. And when you get it, when it comes out and you break it off.
Let me come on the other side.
Now this is how I do it. Get me a gap started, and you can push it from the top. The big thing is to get it going get you some piles, and then move on.
Then we'll take the rake and even it out.
And then it starts coming out.
It's easy to break up though. The clumps aren't like rock hard. They're easy to break up. So that's layer number 4. Okay, he's not going to use the rake, he's just going to use his hands. Like I said, it's really easy to break up, so it doesn't take a lot of...
I am gonna use the rake, but right now I'm just trying to break up these clumps. Just kind of get an even distribution, and then I'll rake it better.
Beautiful day here in Central Florida. We had 3.5 inches of rain this weekend. So our garden was just soaking it up, and we were just so thankful for the rain. But those storms have passed, and now we have some nice sunny days.
I think we're supposed to get some more rain in the next couple of weeks, the next couple of days. But right now, we're going to be enjoying this kind of weather. Very little clouds. It's really not hot. Actually, what came through was a cold front, but we call them cool fronts because there was hardly any cold to it.
Yeah, there's no cold front in Florida.
But we'll take it because we know what's ahead.
So if you notice, every now and then we still have little stray pieces of hay that have poked through, but that's okay because we're gonna go through. We're gonna get another layer of dirt on top of this now, so it's not gonna. It'll get covered up. So
hopefully you guys are getting the idea of how we do this, layer it. So now we're going to go back and get some more dirt. Put some dirt on here.
See that little wagon right there? That's our little dirt hauler. So we have figured out that it takes 4 loads in that wagon to get a good solid layer of dirt. And so one bed basically takes 8 loads, 4 loads, the first layer, then we do the blood meal and the peat, and we'll go back for 4 more loads for the next layer, and then we'll put
the black cow on top of it.
Yeah. So, okay. So we got to get busy, guys. Okay, so here's our little cart full of dirt. This is what we do. Load it up and then shovel it out. We shovel it in the cart too.
Now
you have to be careful when you do this, because if you watch real careful, if you throw it down real hard, that peat moss will puff up.
Yeah.
And it starts moving it from where you've raked it in. So it's better just to
kind of lay it on there.
Kind of gently roll it over. Get it where you want it. You can come back and rake it later.
But you don't want bare spots with no peat underneath your dirt, so.
And when we first started doing this, I was more interested in the end results. I was throwing that stuff on there, and it was pulling the peat moss all the way off, and I had to come back and rake it in. So I learned real quick, this little task right here is not one that you want to be aggressive with. Take your time and do it right. Dirt that we bought, it's been sitting for a little while, and there's already some little plants growing in it. So
yeah, the back side of the dirt hill is starting to have grass growing on it now.
So we're careful as to making sure we don't put the weeds in there.
Yeah. Weeding is a fundamental task of gardening, so. We try to make it as painless as possible.
I'm going to show you a trick here in a minute that we do. This is I think it's called a gorilla cart. It's really cool.
It's gotten a lot of use since we've bought it, that's for sure.
So much that our Anna Banana wants to take it and play with it down at the neighbor's house. I guess our neighbors like it too.
Yeah, so the other day they wanted to build a fort on the neighbor's trampoline, so she hauled blankets and pillows and stuffed animals, and oh my goodness, that cart was full of things.
Now something that you can't see, which is a very unique feature of this cart. Come here, Miss Homestead. Each one of these sides actually comes off. You can do it on this side. You can do it on this side. They all come off. The whole thing comes off. So what we do is we put it right here, right beside the bed. Lift up our cart, and voila. We're ready for our next load. And then this just comes right back in there. Pretty neat, huh? We really love this cart.
So now we've finished the last layer of dirt, or the last haul of dirt to finish the layer. So Mr. Homestead's just kind of leveling that all out, getting it ready. We are going to be planting watermelon.
Yay!
Mr. Homestead is more excited about this one bed of watermelon, I think, than anything else in the garden. So it'll be our first year growing watermelon too, so we're excited about it. So once he gets that kind of
I think I'm done.
smoothed out, then the black cow is the next thing to come along. Now we have used black cow. We've also used like an off-brand compost mushroom compost is what we've used. So both of them are, you know, equally, I don't know if I'll say that, but we've had success with both of them. I'm not sure if they're equally successful, but.
Well, and they're the same price. And
You get a little bit larger bag with the off-brand.
yeah, the numbers are about the same. I think the Black Cow has higher numbers. It's like 0.5, 0.5, 0.4 for the mushroom. So they're equal.
So we're just going to kind of smooth this out, and we'll be ready to plant.
It's growing time.
I have watermelon seedlings in the greenhouse, in our little greenhouse on the back porch, that have been waiting for a bed to.
That I've been talking to every day.
So the plan is, this bed is watermelons. That bed over there that we'll be filling up next will be pumpkins. And then we have the materials to build one more bed that's going to go on the other side of that trellis right there with the blackberries in it. And we will be putting sweet potatoes in that bed. So that will give us 11 4 by 16 foot beds, and hopefully we have a successful crop this year. We've got a great start on our tomatoes and our cucumbers and the peppers and the peas and the carrots and the squash. Yeah, so everything's coming along great, as long as no catastrophes or any pestilence or plagues or
Well, we've
anything.
tried to learn from a lot of our YouTube friends that we watch, and they have done a lot of things like plant
Companion planting.
Yeah. So we've done some onions to kind of keep the pests off of them, the aphids, stuff like that. So this is going to be an experimental year for us to see how it works. Hopefully it works.
I think every year is an experimental year. Like we learn from it and we go with what we've learned, but then we try something new, it seems like. So
yeah, I don't ever want to get stagnant to where we're just doing the same old, same old.
yeah,
It's fun to experiment. It's fun to come up with new things.
so.
Like I'm excited about my hot peppers up there. First time I've ever done Carolina Reapers. I don't know what I'm gonna do with them, but I want to have Carolina Reapers. I got to start YouTubing some recipes.
All right, so there's our completed bed, you guys. Ta-da!
Ta-da!
So we'll be making up some mounds here in a little bit and planting some watermelons and hooking the sprinklers up and getting it watered for the evening, but that's it.
And never forget, do your best.
And let God do the rest.
Bye, guys.
Bye.